Hello class 9 students, welcome back once again to your biology class. We have been continuing with the chapter of why do we fall ill. Today also we will continue the next portion of this chapter. So last day I told you about the diseases which are caused by the viruses or viral diseases. I told you have to learn about the causative organism of each disease, the mode of transmission, the symptoms, prevention and control measures for any particular disease which you are studying. So let us start today from the rabies. Rabies means the hydrophobia. What is rabies? Basically, it is an acute fatal viral disease. This is caused due to a virus, and it is mainly its main area of effect is the central nervous system. It is a disease of warm-blooded animals like the dogs, the cats, monkeys, rabbits, etc. How it is transmitted? Basically, this rabies is transmitted usually by the bites of any type of leeks or any type of rabid animals, and the virus is excreted in the saliva from the affected animals. Okay, if any dog is biting a person, then that person may be affected by this rabies. Okay, now what are the symptoms of this particular disease? Starting with headache, sore throat, slight fever, which will last from 3 to 4 days. And the patient later becomes sensitive to noise, bright light, or cold draught of air. Fear of air may take place within that person. Pharyngeal and neck muscles pain may take place. The muscular pain may occur along with the dilation of pupils. Pupils means which are present in the eyes. And increased perspiration or sweating may take place. Salivation may take place from that affected person, and the person will be having fear of death also. Okay, and will be irritable. Irritability will be taking place, depression and so on. Okay, and the symptoms will be progressively increased, and swallowing of liquid becomes unsuccessful, and fear of water or hydrophobia may take place within that person. Now, how this disease can be prevented? Okay, the prevention of this disease. A single dose of anti-rabies serum with a course of vaccine is given to the affected individuals. And immediately when any type of this rabid animal is biting any individual, that person should wash the wounded area or the scratches which is created by that rabid animal and the adjoining areas with plenty of water and plenty of soap. It should be washed, like it should be washed with carbolic soap. That will be much beneficial. Washing the wound region of scratch and biting with carbolic soap and water should be done. Okay, it should be, the wound area should be kept under a running tap for about 5 minutes to remove most of the virus. After that, the person should be taken to the doctor. After cleaning, the wound is irrigated with either alcohol tincture of 0.01% aqueous solution of iodine or providine. Providine iodine, this is also another type of iodine, and use of Savlon or Dettol or any type of branded antiseptic is not allowed. It's not recommended basically. Use of carbolic acid or nitric acid also is not recommended, as it leaves bad scars or bad marks. Previously what happened to the people who had been bitten by these rabid animals, they were given this acidic treatment. So as a result, what happened? It used to burn that particular area, right? And that scar or the mark of that burning place or the burning area, it used to stay for lifetime. Understood? So that is not recommended nowadays. So as a result, anti-rabies serum is basically used now. The local application of this anti-rabies serum is very highly effective in this case. And the animal or the rabid animal who had bitten that individual, that animal should be observed for at least 10 days from the date of the biting. If the animal shows symptoms of rabies, the animal should be killed basically, because if the animal is not killed, although it is a very drastic step, it is banned nowadays. So what will happen, that animal, if it is having this rabies, then if that organism is scratching or if it is biting to any other healthy individual, that healthy individual also will be affected by this rabies virus. Okay. So if the animal is healthy after the end of the 10 days, then no such anti-rabies treatment is required. Nowadays, the animals also are given this anti-rabies vaccine. Okay. And till date there is no treatment for rabies, basically only this vaccination is used up. The next disease which we will discuss now is the AIDS. The full form of AIDS is acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. Okay, this AIDS basically, it is a very fatal illness which is caused by retrovirus RNA virus. Okay, which is known as human immunodeficiency virus, or in short we say as HIV virus. Okay, what basically happens during this AIDS, it's basically the complete breakdown of the immune system of the body takes place, right? The victim or the person who is affected by this virus becomes vulnerable to any type of very small, any type of disease. If it gets within that individual, it will not have the power to cure. Okay, suppose we are getting common cold and flu, so most of us are having during seasonal changes. So if that is not very fatal, that is not very dreadful. So what happens if this person who is having AIDS, the small cold, cough and flu will remain within that individual and it will not get cured. Okay, and this basically the neurological disorders or unusual malignancies will take place within that or within that individual, and this disease basically spreads throughout the body of the individual. It can pass through the blood-brain barrier and destroy the brain cells also, and cause neurological and psychomotor abnormalities within the individual. Okay, now what are the symptoms? The AIDS patient basically shows signs of unexplained diarrhea which will last more than a month, fatigue, tiredness, body discomfort, okay, loss of body weight may take place within the individual, fever, night sweats, etc. And the end stage of HIV infection is AIDS. In this disease, what happens? The lymphoid or the lymph nodes, they swell up and the blood platelet count decreases within the individual, which cause hemorrhage and fever. Okay, now what are the modes of transmission? The modes of transmission of AIDS. Basically, AIDS is a sexually transmitted disease. Okay, AIDS spreads through unprotected sex, that is without condom. If any person is having sexual intercourse with any HIV infected person, then AIDS or this HIV will be transferred from the AIDS victim to the healthy partner also. Okay, another method of transmission of AIDS is by contaminated blood transfusion. Through contaminated needle and syringe, those who are having intravenous drugs, what happens in their case? If the syringe has been used previously by any HIV patient, HIV victim, then what happens? That syringe, if is used by any healthy person, then this person will also be affected by this AIDS disease. Okay, and if the blood is transferred, transfusion of blood takes place. Now, if the blood donor is having HIV, if he is HIV positive and he is donating blood, then the blood is given to another healthy person, that person also will be affected by this disease. And HIV also passes, another mode is HIV also passes from infected mother to her fetus through the placental barrier also to her baby during the delivery or by breastfeeding. Now, how can this disease be prevented? Provide health education to the adults. This is the main or the first criteria. There is no cure yet now for AIDS. And to avoid indiscriminate sex. Okay, so sexual partners should be free from HIV, and to avoid the use of common razors and toothbrushes, that should be avoided. Intravenous drug users should avoid common needles and syringe uses, because through the needle and the syringes, this HIV virus can spread from an infected individual to a healthy person. Apart from that, the infected woman also should avoid pregnancy. Otherwise, the newly born individual will also be affected with HIV. Clear? And these infected persons also should not donate blood or body organs or other tissues. And disposable syringes and needles should always be used. Okay, and how this can be controlled? Antiviral chemotherapy with chemical compound zidovudine, we say AZT, that is used to prolong the life of the healthy patient. And till date, there is no effective treatment for this AIDS. The next disease we will discuss now is about polio, poliomyelitis. This is basically caused by a small virus. Like rabies and encephalitis, it also affects the central nervous system. What are the modes of transmission of polio? Poliovirus enters, how it enters the body? Through contaminated food and water. And it multiplies in the lymphoid tissues like the tonsils and cause vomiting, intestinal cramps, nausea, and even influenza also. Okay. And sometimes the virus enters the bloodstream and settles in the gray matter of the spinal cord. Now, what are the symptoms of this polio disease? Headache and fever, this is common for all. Stiffness in the neck and contusions. Paralysis in the muscles may take place. Paralysis of the arms and the legs, etc., which is controlled by the spinal cord. And how this polio can be prevented? You have heard about oral polio drops. Vaccine is given to the children till the age of 5 years. This prevention is preventive method is basically the immunization with the oral polio vaccine. It is the only immunity against the polio disease. Okay, till this much today. Thank you.